Hey, this is Donna from Faded and Forgotten History. I'm here today with my husband Robert, and today we're on a little road trip through Georgia. We just came through Washington, Georgia, and we saw signs for Kettle Creek Battlefield. So we are going to check it out and see what it's all about. We've heard a little bit about it already when we did a story on Elijah Clark, and this is a Revolutionary War battlefield. So we're going to look around and see the history. We came down a long gravel road through a really nice stone gate. It's a beautiful day, and we're just going to see what Kettle Creek Battlefield meant in the history of our country. So thanks for joining us, and if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe to Faded and Forgotten History. One of the first things that we've come across is this board that explains what the Kettle Creek Battlefield War Hill is all about. It has a map on it here, and we do know that this was one of the battles during the Revolution where the Loyalists and the Patriots fought and the Patriots won. It involved important men in our history such as Elijah Clark, Colonel Andrew Pickens, also John Dooley. And the place we're standing on is called War Hill. There are other trails that you can hike. We're not set up today to really hike, but we did pass one that was an old settlement trail that we would like to come back and see someday. So we're at the top of this hill. Kettle Creek we passed over on our way here. We also saw a historic landmark sign out on the highway that pointed us back in this direction. So now we're walking up toward a cemetery, has flags displayed, and a historic landmark sign that we can read when we get up here that will tell us more about it. The Battle of Kettle Creek, fought here on February 14th, so Valentine's Day, 1779, was one of the most important battles of the Revolutionary War in Georgia. At that time, the state was almost completely under British control. Colonel Boyd, with 600 British sympathizers, Loyalists or Tories is what they were called, crossed the Savannah River into present-day Elbert County en route to the British Army then at Augusta. Patriots Colonel Andrew Pickens with 200 South Carolina militia, and Colonel John Dooley and Lieutenant Colonel Elijah Clark with 140 Georgia militia marched to overtake the Loyalists. On the morning of the 14th, Boyd and his men were camped here at a bend in the then flooded Kettle Creek. Their horses were grazing, sentries were posted, and most of the men were slaughtering cattle or searching for food. The Patriots attempted to attack the Loyalist camp by surprise but failed, and a desperate battle raged on both sides of the creek for 3 hours before the Loyalists finally broke and fled. Colonel Boyd and 20 of his men were killed and 22 captured. Pickens and Dooley lost 7 men killed and 14 or 15 wounded. Pickens later wrote that Kettle Creek was the severest check and chastisement the Tories ever received in South Carolina or Georgia. So now we're overlooking a place where we have grave markers, and this is an interesting sign, and this is cenotaph. Research revealed that these cenotaph memorial markers were placed here between 1958 and 1974. These markers represent people that are buried somewhere else. Actual burials are marked by white crosses scattered around the battlefield. So here's some of those. Captain James Cartledge, 1755 to 1845, Minuteman under Colonel Elijah Clark. And John Shank, 1761 to 1835, Revolutionary War soldier in the command of General George Rogers Clark. Then we have a collection of others. This one has much of a story to it, sacred to the memory of Samuel Whiteley, who was born in North Carolina and died in Wilkes County, Georgia. He was an ordained minister at Phillips Mill Baptist Church, husband of Catherine Anglin Whiteley, Revolutionary War soldier, Private Georgia Line under the command of Colonel Elijah Clark and Captain Micaiah Williamson. And there's some pennies on this grave, which shows somebody has been here to pay their respects. So when you see a penny on a grave, that's what that stands for. Somebody has visited there. So several others. And then over here, we have a large monument The patriots whose names appear on this marker are those who have been proved to have participated in the Battle of Kettle Creek on February 14, 1779. Yes, we have Lieutenant Joseph Calhoun, John McAdams. Those are important names from our area of the upstate, Anderson County, Abbeville County, South Carolina. That's just some we see right away that we recognize. So the center area is Upper 96th Regiment, South Carolina Militia, 200 men. Andrew Pickens, Robert Anderson. We also have a very large monument here at the top of the knoll. And this says the Battle of the American Revolution, in which the British were severely defeated, checked their invasion of Georgia. And you can see how tall it is. And as we walk around to the other sides of this monument, this is erected by the United States government upon request of the Kettle Creek Chapter Daughters of the American Revolution in 1930. On this hill, the 14th of February, 1779, the Battle of Kettle Creek was fought. How different that day must have been from what we're experiencing today. It would have been winter, of course. Cold. It's hot and sunny today, very quiet except for the sounds of nature around us in the woods. And then the victorious American forces were commanded by Colonel Andrew Pickens, Colonel Elijah Clark, and Colonel John Dooley. So it was a great victory for the Patriots on that February day. And this is kind of out here down a long gravel road and nobody nearby, but it is well maintained and definitely worth a little drive out here. And there are trails you can hike and see more of the battlefield itself. We're not prepared for that today, but this was an unexpected find along our route. So we wanted to document it.